What is going on, you guys? My name is Rage and we're back today with another Heroes 7-1 video guide and playthrough for you all. Reason being that this is so important is because this is the start of the chapter 7 when you unlock level 70, and additionally on top of that, by unlocking Hero 7-1 you also get access to as well Villains chapter 7. So it's become a bottleneck for those beginning players starting out, transitioning to the mid game, ultimately unlocking Hela as part of the unlocking requirement for Ebony Maw as well as Black Bolt, requiring the Asgardians as well as the Inhumans. So that's a really big component there. A lot of players will utilize those characters, but for me, I did take a look at my roster here and I try to utilize characters that were hero and city, which is requirements for heroes, and on top of that, you know, characters that I haven't really built up quite high yet. And I think another great combination, now I don't have my guys built up, I likely will make a video once they're built up, but you know, the Shadowland characters that involve Moon Knight, Night Nurse, White Tiger, as well as Daredevil, definitely another feasible team as well. I've done a variant of the Defenders utilizing the original Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Punisher, as well as Daredevil, as well as I'm sure the symbiote roster, including symbiote Spider-Man and Anti-Venom, if you guys have them unlocked, is, you know, makes very quick work. For me in this video, I am going to utilize actually a combination of the Young Avengers on top of that, with Multiple Man being the newest addition in the game, especially from that X Factor team. He creates quite an impressive punch and synergy actually with my team here. So I'm going to go through and take a look at that and show you guys the playthrough. For starting off here, I like Miles Morales because of the fact that he has that synergy with Young Avengers. You can see that I don't have any T-Force on his abilities. Additionally, on top of that, he's readily available through the Blitz store, making him quite feasible. As you can see, only a modest tier 10, so you don't need him too high, but that's generally why I like to utilize this team, because I want to show you guys that you don't need a too powerful of a team to actually push through these nodes. Next, as I mentioned before, Multiple Man adds immense value. You know, he's definitely going to be farmable in the game with the upcoming legendary of Adam Warlock being in the game, so he's going to be readily available. Many players will have access to him due to the fact that he was available through that event, and everyone could just farm him free-to-play style, so very, very easy to achieve. Hopefully you guys got a chance to unlock him at either a 2 or 3 yellow star, but you can see he's going to add immense value for us just in the initial playthrough. Next, Miss Marvel is also campaign farmable in the game as well, and her just being a fellow Young Avenger as well, synergizing with the Young Avengers and having that regen as well as being able to taunt and soak up damage, we're going to find great value for that. And I didn't level up her abilities because, again, I just wanted to show you guys what the reference would be in terms of overall power, and not even having an ISO 8, but if you find that you need sustain and healing, definitely would recommend the ISO 8 healer, which synergizes with her kit really well. Next, we do have Squirrel Girl, and for Squirrel Girl, she does apply some support and healing capabilities as well. I like her ultimate ability with Squirrel Army because it actually does apply an offense down. Only caveat on her, however, is that she is actually available only in Dune Chapter 2.6 for farming, so a lot of players may not have her, so she's probably going to be the substitute for you guys if you're using a similar team to what I'm showing. But fortunately, you can see here, I only have 28 KO built on her. A great substitute for her would be any of the mentioned characters before, such as the Defenders, or as well the Shadowland characters I mentioned. So very, very good pieces, but if you don't have Squirrel Girl, not the end of the world. She's really just used here for reference and synergy with the Young Avengers. And then also as well, Spider-Man, he's available through the Blitz store as well, very readily available. Not really considered a Young Avenger, but he has synergy with those hero characters that can get additional strikes. And additionally, he's just going to be brought on board because of the fact that he has his ultimate that can apply a stun and really slow down the enemies being utilized against us. So that is my 5-man roster that I am going to bring on board here. Total team power, 161,000. Let's dive right into the gameplay. Starting off here, you can see total team power is 161,000. And as you can see, I did put Miss Marvel on the right because she is going to be tankier than the rest. Miles Morales is in the middle because sometimes when he goes invisible, he can split the chain attack, so that's why he's there. And then Multiple Man, in my opinion, is one of the key pieces, so that's why I put him to the far left, because generally the corner pieces do get attacked the least, and whereas the middle target gets attacked the most. With Miles Morales in the middle and him being invisible, might mitigate that. So that's kind of my logic. But starting off here, you're going to see that we are up against the mixture here of the Hand as well as a Doctor Strange. And really for me, the two priority pieces to take care of in the beginning is going to be Hand Sentry as well as Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange got that revive. He can flip the positive effects to negative. and Sentry has the opportunity to actually shroud his fellow allies. So that's why it's really important to take those two down. Starting off, I use Nick Fury to summon his ally minions here. It's nice that we get him to start the board here. And again, we're going to see that he actually gets another turn thanks again to the speed up and can actually apply defense up to our team. So that's a really big synergy component right there. With Miles Morales, take advantage of his abilities to actually apply disruption to Sentry. I do want to take out Sentry because I don't want him shrouding and creating clones. And if we can get him down actually before those clones come up, it's going to be advantageous. You can see thanks again to the synergy of Miss Marvel, she actually naturally takes down Doctor Strange, just thanks again to the Young Avengers assisted attacks. Unfortunately for us as well, Nobu is also has the capability to summon minions there. So you see that happens there, but that is quite all right. We brought on Squirrel Girl to provide us with a little bit of healing, so that's what we do right there. And again, she can be replaced, you guys. You don't necessarily need her in this team. It just really synergized nicely with the roster I had. But again, you have Iron Fist, Luke Cage, great substitutes because they're both defensive as well. Now you can see the only one that really remains here that's of value to us is Nobu, with Sentry and Doctor Strange taken down. We're going to save Spider-Man's stun there. As you can see, I didn't use his stun because I do actually like to focus it on high damage targets such as Elektra or potentially even Elsa. So just keep that in mind. You know, he's brought on board to kind of stall and give us a little bit of time to delay their attacks. This is a great time for me to utilize Squirrel Girl's ultimate because it applies offense down on these high damage targets. Elsa goes down. Nobu and Elektra are the two that I would focus next. And then you can see with Spider-Man, I do actually stun Elektra there to prevent her from actually making a turn because she does have the highest attack here. Otherwise, Assassin's not a big deal, so we go ahead and just target these minions right now. By finishing him off now, we can actually focus on the last two here. And again, the priority, in my opinion, would be Elektra, but seeing as how she was stunned, I just wanted to take my time here, and we're looking really great right now with the roster we have. Really beautiful synergy, as you can see, with Multiple Man, creating those clones, really kind of soaking up damage, and that's really the key idea with this node attempt because of the fact that multiple man can summon those with the special, and then those clones take up damage, really working favorable for us. I love his animation as well, just very, very beautiful, especially given how powerful the X Factor team already is. I think a lot of players are going to have access. This now leaves us with the last wave here being made up of a consistency here of the hand minions as well as Loki. We go ahead and finish off Loki first. You can see it was very quick just due to the assisted attacks. And again, if you can get your hands on Miss Marvel, Miles Morales, Squirrel Girl, there's synergy just having that Young Avengers assisted attacks. It's really beautiful. And again, now with Nick Fury finally providing another benefit to his team here with the defense up. It's really, really pivotal that we have him on this node, and it's really nice that he's actually supplied for that value there. So I don't think a lot of players will have issues like back in the day when we only had access to the the defenders. But now that we have all this mixture, especially with Shadowland and as well as the Young Avengers being utilized, I don't think we're going to have issues anymore going forward. And especially even better if you have Symbiote Spider-Man. He definitely would be a staple, but given how powerful mine is, that's exactly why I didn't bring him on board. I utilized him in Dark Dimension 3 in the late game, and he's just too powerful for this node now to showcase some guides. But as you can see right there, we make short work of these guys, especially given that they're made up a majority of hand minions. So it's really nice that we actually get quite ease of enemies there, as well as our synergy with our allies. So that was the 7-1 playthrough right there, and feeling pretty good here. So you know what, the next node should actually be quite easy as well. So we'll go ahead and start actually the next playthrough of 7-2 just to show you guys how this team can also be utilized for them. It's going to be the exact same placement and team size here, as you can see. So that looks good on our end. And with this one, it is a little different from the first one because we don't actually get Nick Fury anymore, unfortunately, but we do actually have the opportunity where we can utilize the operators on our end. Essentially, what we need is 4 successful turns. Doesn't matter if we don't take down the enemy, so as long as we get 4 turns to utilize our operators, we can win the battle. So starting off here, the really key targets to be concerned with is the sniper as well as Vulture, due to the fact that they have some AoE damage, and with them, they can focus in on our operators, and that's why we want to take down them first, especially with Vulture being able to complete and take away our speed. So first off here, it's turn 1. You can see our operator going ahead, so that's 1 out of 4, looking good for us. But for sure, the key targets would be the snipers, Vulture, and Deadpool's dangerous in the sense that he can target our operator if our operator has low health. So that's the only thing to be mindful of. You can see Vulture utilizing his ability there, taking away our speed, and that's why we want to take him down as soon as possible. Oh wow, as you can see, Deadpool is actually able to finish off our Spider-Man. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to dodge that, so Spider-Man is unfortunately down for the count. But again, not a big deal, because again, this roster should be more than enough to be able to take these guys down, just due to the synergy and the amount of healing we got, as well as, don't forget, we also have multiple man in his clones. You can see, I forgot to mention here, we do have a Mr. Fantastic on our team, so he's going to provide some nice little damage for us when we need to actually apply that to a single to an enemy. So you can see we can utilize that there. Multiple man activating his buffs now on his clones, providing us with that benefit. Once again, Squirrel Girl activating offense down the bleed, which is very beautiful. We finally take down Deadpool and the Vulture, as well as that one sniper. And this next wave does have Bullseye. Bullseye's damage is pretty good, actually, so we're going to focus him. He's a good single damage target for taking our allies down, so that's why we go ahead and target him, especially with our operator being quite low on HP. We got to be wary of that. Now, going ahead, I'm really just focusing on anybody I can take down that's about to have a turn and have lower HP. But you can see it's going to take a little bit of timing and luck, but not too big of a team power. As you can see, we only have one more turn left, and our operators almost got that next turn. So I would focus on Koraf if I were you guys in this next wave, because he has some decent damage and ability block. And there you guys have it. That is the 4 turns right there. So that's 7-2 as well. And unfortunately, only the 2-star unlock, but you can see that it just takes a little bit of luck. If we had the hit on a different character other than our Spider-Man, him being squishier, it likely would have ended up with the 3-star unlock. So that's a great example there of utilizing a 161k team, mixing up the Young Avengers with Multiple Man and Spider-Man. As always, do appreciate you guys checking out my videos, and I'll see you in the next one.